Hey guys, welcome to another mental health video. Today I'm discussing at least 5 things that I want you men out there to do. I suppose this could go for lesbian relationships too. But the men that are dealing with girlfriends that, one, could be antisocial, so antisocial personality. 2, men that deal with borderline individuals, borderline personality disorder, individuals that have borderline personality disorder. These people can be very, very behavioral. They can be very, very good at upsetting their partner, upsetting their boyfriend, upsetting their husband, upsetting their girlfriend if it's a lesbian relationship. They know how to push your buttons. They make a list of things that upset you. And when they're upset, those are their tools. Like, for example, my ex-girlfriend knew I hated it when she called police on me. That's what she would do every time. Or she would threaten to do it, or she would pretend to call 911, or she would tell her daughter to call 911. This became one of her sadistic, cruel tools that she would do, knowing that I have PTSD, and she still does this to upset me. Last time she did it, I literally dropped her and the kids off at the police station because she was triggering me severely and I needed her to get out of my vehicle. So I literally had to drop these folks off at the police station. While she's there, she puts a no trespassing order on me. This is a person that's been one of my best friends for 20 years, dated this girl for an entire year, had to cancel a ride because she was escalating in my vehicle, had to cancel her daughter's ride. She then tells the daughter, call 911 on me just for canceling the ride. She's going crazy in my vehicle. She's triggering my PTSD. This is why I had to drop her off at the police station, because she was severely triggering me on purpose to emotionally abuse me. She's literally in my passenger seat pretending to call 911 to emotionally abuse me because she knows it upsets me. This is cruelty, guys. This is abuse. This is cruelty. Okay, and I'm not joking. This is cruelty towards your partner. If your partner is doing this shit to you, it's cruelty. She puts me on Facebook. She tells 1,300 of her friends that I'm a piece of shit, that I'm a scumbag. She has literally tagged my actual name and put my safety in jeopardy. Knowing I have PTSD, she's going to put me on Facebook publicly and put me in danger, which triggers my PTSD, but she still does it anyway. So you're going to get very upset with these women. Like, for example, one of my ex-girlfriends, I don't need to mention her name, but I'll call her Kathy. That's not her name, but I'll call her Kathy. Kathy was a borderline woman, and she had antisocial personality disorder. And she was pushing her boyfriend's buttons. I don't know what she was doing, but this boyfriend did not use his coping skills. He did not do the right thing. He ends up almost murdering the girl right there. He threw her down the stairs. He dislocated both of her shoulders. He literally hurt this girl bad. I think he was kicking her in the head and everything. He was hurting this girl bad, and she was borderline personality mixed with some psychosis and antisocial personality disorder. Some of the worst combinations you can get for a woman, mental health wise. But you boyfriends, domestic violence is not okay. Hurting people is not okay unless it's self-defense. If you're walking down the street and somebody attacks you, by all means, defend yourself as long as it's justified. You don't need to use excessive force. You don't need to put the person in the hospital, but you just need to defend yourself if it's justified. I do not recommend putting your hands on your girlfriend, a guy. I don't recommend, even women doing that. Because you're just going to end up in jail if it's domestic violence. You have to justify the use of force, and if it's a domestic violence situation, no one's going to think that force is justified. Number one, the police are going to say, why didn't you call us? That's going to be their first question. If they find out that you slapped your girlfriend, they're going to say, why didn't you call us? That's going to be their first question. The next question is, can you please turn around and put your hands behind your back? You're going to end up in jail for domestic violence if you're not doing what I'm saying in these videos. If you're not using your coping skills, you're going to end up in jail. Number one, when you're dealing with borderline women, especially antisocial personality mixed with borderline women, you need to eat healthy because you got to keep your blood sugar low. I've had situations where I thought I was on the verge of dying from a heart attack from stress that my girlfriend was putting me through. Like this week, she put a no trespassing order on me for canceling her daughter's ride. Simply for my ex-girlfriend was escalating in my vehicle. I told her to stop. She wouldn't stop. She literally puts not a restraining order, but a no trespassing order on me for that. So number one is going to be eat healthy, guys. You got to keep your blood sugar normal. You got to keep your blood pressure normal. because it could give you a heart attack. This level of stress, this level of emotional abuse could give you a heart attack, guys. Number two is call your partner out for it. You don't need to yell at her. You don't need to be intimidating. You don't need to scream. You can keep your voice tone good, and you can tell your ex-girlfriend or your girlfriend, just like I have the last few weeks, what you're doing is emotional abuse. What you're saying to me is emotional abuse. You putting me on Facebook is emotional abuse. Call them out for it. You don't have to be threatening. You don't have to be intimidating. You don't have to raise your voice. You can simply tell the person, you're emotionally abusing me right now. And then I would set some boundaries. I would say, if you continue to do it, we're going to end our relationship. Me and my friend have decided we need to give each other space, maybe for a year, maybe longer. I'd like her to date new guys. I'd like her to date guys that are safe for her. Nobody with a bad temper should be with a borderline woman, because the borderline woman will push you over the edge. That's why it's so important, guys, to use your coping skills. Like, one thing I would do every time my girlfriend would pick a fight with me, I would get my shoes on and I'd leave the house and go for a walk. That's because I'm using my coping skills, guys. It keeps myself safe. It keeps her safe. It keeps me out of jail. I keep my job because I'm not out here hurting people. You can keep your gun rights if you can prove to the state that you're not a violent person. You know, they're going to feel way more comfortable of you being a carrier if you're a safe person. So call her out for what she's doing. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to use a bad voice tone. You don't have to be threatening or intimidating. But you can tell her, look, what you're doing right now is emotional abuse. And if you want us to break up over it, then keep doing it. Set some boundaries with a person. As long as it's safe to do that. I know there's been women out there that have literally killed their boyfriends. So make sure that it's a safe situation. Make sure the firearms are secured. If you got a couple guns around and you know your girlfriend's going off the deep end, why don't you go secure the firearms first before you confront her on anything that's upsetting you? There's been women out there that have literally killed their boyfriends, literally shot their boyfriends over fights. But number two is going to be leave the apartment or leave the house. If your girlfriend is pushing your buttons, if your girlfriend is emotionally abusing you, if your girlfriend is being physically abusive, leave the fucking apartment. If they're being physically abusive, give the police a call and say, my girlfriend just punched me in the face. That way you're not doing anything, because if you shove her, if you push her, if she falls down, guess who's going to jail? You're going to jail for mutual domestic violence. You need to protect yourself out here, knowing that you're your only protector. Only you can save yourself from going to jail by making the right choices. So number two is going to be leave the apartment or leave the house if things get heated. That's what I did every single time. I dated this borderline individual for an entire year. She has antisocial personality disorder, so she can be incredibly cruel to me. I would leave the house. Every time she would trigger me, I would leave the house. Every time she got real ugly with me, I would get my shoes on and leave. Number three is going to be make sure you're using your coping skills. You could leave the house and throw on a pair of headphones and listen to music. You could leave the house and call a family member. You could leave the house and call a friend. You could go visit your friend's house. I used to walk downtown and get an iced coffee. That was one of my things I like to do. I like to exercise and I like iced coffee, so I'd get both in the same trip. If my girlfriend was flipping out on me, I'd get my shoes on and leave. I've been stopped by police cruisers because of my girlfriend. I've literally had to leave the house and had police pull me over on the side of the road while I've been on foot. That's how crazy these relationships are, guys. That's why you got to know when to quit these relationships. Sometimes it's in the kid's best interest to terminate the relationship, like in this case. Even though I love this person, I absolutely love this girl to death. I would give my life for this girl. That's how much I love her. She's a very sweet person. But her mental illness is out of fucking control right now, guys. It is out of fucking control. She's been trying to get me arrested this week. She's been trying to get me in trouble this week. It's been awful, guys. And you got to learn when it's just too much. You got to learn when to walk away. So number three is make sure you're using your coping skills. Make sure you go for walks. Make sure you go for a jog. You could go to the gym. If your girlfriend's pissing you the fuck off, leave and go to the gym. But don't forget, guys, to set boundaries. When the time is right, set boundaries. Let them know, if you keep up this bullshit, I'm gone. I used to say that to my girlfriend all the time, but she never took it seriously. And now I'm gone. Now we can't hang out anymore because she didn't listen. She didn't do the right thing. She didn't change her abusive behavior. She just kept right up with it. Like I said, if they're putting you online, that's emotional abuse, guys. Call it out. It's emotional abuse. Number four is going to be know when to terminate the relationship. Like this morning, my ex-girlfriend asked me for a ride after putting a no trespass on me this week. I told her I think that's inappropriate. At first, I was entertaining the idea because, of course, that's my pattern to help her. I talked to my brother about it briefly. He reminded me this is a bad situation. I'm going to listen to my brother this time, and so I ended up canceling the ride. Because the reality is my family don't want me around this person because she's caused so much trouble for me. She's almost got me thrown in jail several times, false accusations. It's been a fucking nightmare, guys. We did have a lot of positives. We had a very cute family going for about a year. I was a stepdad. I loved every minute of being a stepdad and caring about her kids. I loved every minute about being a loving, sweet boyfriend. I did the best I could. But sometimes when you're dealing with mental illness, like in this case, my girlfriend is Jekyll and Hyde because she hasn't got her mental health treatment. I'd like to say to her, because she loves to spy on my videos, she loves to watch my videos, maybe after you get your mental health treatment, maybe you get on an antipsychotic drug, maybe you get help for the BPD, and maybe I'll be interested in being your friend again. But until you get treatment, I am not risking my fucking freedom. I am not risking my job anymore for this person. This person could literally cost me a job by staying involved with her. Until she gets the mental health treatment, gets on an antipsychotic, I am not coming back. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it anymore. So number 4 is know when to terminate the relationship or take a break. That's super important. I mean, there was so many times that me and my girlfriend should have taken a longer break. Like last time we broke up, I was at my house. We had taken the day off. By nighttime, she's calling me crying, begging me to come back. And then she puts on Facebook that I'm using her for a place to live after she was the one that begged me to come back to her house. Number 5, guys, is ask yourself why you've stuck around. Like for me, this girl has been emotionally abusing me probably all year, and I think the reason why I put up with it is because I was abused my whole life. I was the victim of child abuse. I was the victim of physical abuse and emotional abuse. The victim of emotional abuse by close friends as an adult. People that I would have died for fucking stabbed me in the fucking back. Emotional abuse as an adult. Emotional abuse as a child. Physical abuse as a child. And that's why I put up with this abuse, guys. That's the honest truth. I was used to being abused my entire life. My dad was beating me when I was like 9 fucking years old. And then my parents would offer me a cookie the next day. So I was trained as a child that abuse is no big deal. Have a cookie. But now I need to be my own best friend. I need to be my parent and say enough is a fucking enough. This abuse has got to stop. You're on the verge of getting arrested. The police chief said to me and my ex-girlfriend this week that he's going to arrest us if this bullshit keeps up. And I believe him. I fucking believe him. Because they're sick and tired of our shit. And I don't blame them. They get called to our house constantly. So ask yourself why you're sticking around to be abused. Why are you putting up with the emotional abuse? That's going to be number 5, guys. But my personal tip to you, the most important one, is if your girlfriend is escalating, get your shoes on and leave. Don't even say anything. Just get your shoes on and leave. Say, call me when you calm down. That will prevent domestic violence. I watched my dad beat my mom. I watched my dad throw my mom in the closets. He did the wrong thing, guys. He should have got his fucking shoes on and gone for a walk. That area that my dad was in, the farmhouse that I grew up in as a kid, it was a beautiful fucking area. And my dad could have, he used to like to hang out with a deer at night too. But it was a beautiful area. He could have jumped right on the road and gone for a walk. He didn't have to beat my mom. Domestic violence, guys, is a choice. You can choose to not be violent. You can choose to not hurt your girlfriend. If you guys want to help a poor guy, you can click my link in the comment section. I'm an Amazon shirt designer. I have cups, pillows, shirts. My shirts start at $14.99. I did that so that you guys could afford a shirt. The link's going to be in the comment section for my Amazon shirt, guys. $14.99 to start, and I think it's like a $5.99, $6.99 for shipping, something like that. But the shirt starts at $14.99, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to do more videos lately. I think it's a way that I cope. It's like a coping skill. I'm not saying my girlfriend's name. I'm not saying her address. Nobody knows my girlfriend. So this is just my way of coping. I'm hoping that she can learn how I'm affected by her abuse. So maybe she'll change. Anyway, guys, nobody's perfect. I have faults. I have things I'm dealing with. I have mental health things I'm dealing with. So I'm not saying my girlfriend's a bad person. She's really not a bad person. She needs help. She needs help for the BPD. She needs help for the bipolar. She probably needs an antipsychotic. Um, Not trying to be mean. Like I said, I am not fucking perfect by any means. I have faults. You know, my shit stinks as well. Um, everybody's shit stinks, right? Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in this video. This is one of my shirts, guys, one of my wolf shirts that I did back in the day for T Public, but I got off T Public because I didn't like them. So that's what I've been up to for years, guys. I do shirt design, but one of my favorite things is just get right on that road, go for a walk. I went for a walk with my brother this morning. We had a good time. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a blessed day. If you guys have any video ideas, I mean, you guys have no idea how hard it is to go on for 20 minutes. It's not easy. If you guys have any topics that you think I can run my mouth for 20 minutes about, leave it in the comments. I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe out there. Don't drink and drive, and try to be a good friend, try to be a good family member, and trust the Lord, because God really does care about all of us. All right, have a good one, guys.